These people sabotage you on purpose. They got jealous of the come up. You see, when people start seeing you moving a little bit higher in life, when they see you doing a little bit better, when they see that you're starting to accomplish things and really come into that woman, come into that person that you're meant to be, that's when they start attempting to sabotage you. And sometimes if they're wicked enough, if they're demonic enough, if they are jealous enough, they will succeed at sabotaging you. I heard a story of a person who started a business, they're doing great, but they were still working a job. The moment their employer found out that they were working toward their business, they started cutting their hours. They started cutting their shifts. This person made the mistake of telling their coworker that they were starting a business, and that trickled around the office, and the manager decided to cut that person's hours. You see how that worked? When people are jealous and envious of your come up, when they're jealous and envious of the fact that you dare to do something different than what they're doing, that you're not willing to suffer the same misery, the same torture, to have the same control over your life that they do, they start sabotaging it. They start looking for ways to hold you back because they feel bad about their lives. See, I'm guessing that the person who attempted to sabotage this person, they felt bad that they still have to work a job, and they were jealous of the fact that their coworker actually decided to start their own business. And instead of talking to the coworker to see how they could maybe help them start a business or see how they can get into what they're doing, they decided to try to sabotage it, and they were successful at it. This is the reason why, and this is not specifically about coworkers, but your coworkers, as many of us have heard before, are not your friends. You have to be careful with who you're giving your personal information to, because a lot of people, most people, dare I say, are haters. They like you to a certain extent. As long as you are on the same level, as long as you're not trying to accomplish anything, as long as you are very stagnant and not really reaching for anything significant, they're cool with you. But you will really see who's a hater and who's not. The more you elevate, the more you try to come up, the more you try to do something different, that's when you will truly see who your haters are. And see, people who hate on people who are actually accomplishing things or trying to accomplish things in their life, when they try to sabotage someone else, they don't understand that they are actually just giving that person a leg up. You see, this hater, this so-called coworker who ran their mouths to the management about this person starting a business, thinking that they were going to hurt that individual, they did nothing more than free that person up to actually focus on what's most important in their life. But you see, to a hater, anytime they feel like you're successful or sabotaging you in some way, they count that as a win. They see it as one step toward holding you back, when in actuality, sometimes what they do is free you up to do even more. And then they have to sit on the sideline in the same stuck, stagnant position they're in and watch you thrive. But back to not treating everybody as if they're someone you can actually trust. Your coworkers are not your friends. And when you are in transition, when you are actually trying to level up, trying to do something more, with your life, you don't want to just go around telling everybody what you're doing, especially when it's attached to your money. These jobs, these corporations, some of these so-called coworkers and colleagues you all call friends, they are not truly your friends. They enjoy you when you have something to complain about, but the moment you start talking about getting away from that environment, if they're not able to get away from that environment, they will make sure that somehow, some way, you're going to have a wrench thrown in your plans and end up stuck in the same situation, or they hope anyway. You see, this coworker, not only did they show they were a hater, but they showed that they could not be trusted. And I'm just wondering how many other things this person gave information to this person about. How much of their personal lives did they tell them about? And as a business owner, as a person who's working toward their own goals, you understand that it takes money to build up something. So for a hater, for a jealous person, trying to cut at your job, at your employment, at your, livelihood in the moment that's helping you to build your business, if they're successful at that, they will count that as a win. But see, when they start seeing you really elevate, despite the fact that they try to sabotage you, despite the fact that maybe your hours got cut, despite the fact that maybe you're not attached to that job anymore, they don't realize that if you're a spiritual person, God just opens up more opportunities. You see, there is no peace for the wicked, and the devil never wins. They might have a temporary win in the moment. They might have thought they did something, but they did nothing more than showing themselves to be a hater and showing themselves to be the kind of person that belongs exactly where they are, in the trenches. And this leads me to my next point. When you are a woman who is aspiring to do more with your life, your haters see your potential. Your haters, jealous, envious people, they see your potential oftentimes before you do, and they start getting scared. They start scrambling and trying to figure out ways they can sabotage you and talk you out of doing the very things that are going to make you a better person. They see your potential a lot more than you do because they're studying you. See, people who attempt to sabotage you, they study your moves, they study what you do, they study what you say in an attempt to try to get in the way and distract you with their jealousy, with their envy, with their negativity, with their overall bad aura, in an attempt to hold you back. You see, these people, they attempt to sabotage you on purpose because they're jealous of the level up. They're jealous of the come up. Have you ever noticed when you were going through a tough time, or if you've ever been through a tough time, people receive you a lot more? But the moment you start doing well, maybe you're making more money, maybe you're living in a different area, maybe you're just looking really good, people start treating you differently. When people start getting jealous of the come up, they want to do anything in their power to try to get in the way. See, they will even fabricate things and lie on you and, try to discredit you and try to get other people to look at you like you're crazy or like somehow you're not to be taken seriously. But see, when people get jealous of the come up, they don't realize they just hold themselves back. Because like I said, the way I believe, that just leaves room for God to even bless you more right in front of them. That just even gives them more opportunity to watch you thrive. And there's nothing worse to a hater than to do all these sabotaging tactics to display their jealousy and envy and still watch you win. And it's not that you're doing anything for the fact that you want to rub their nose in it, but that's just what happens when people wish bad on other people. You see, when people get jealous of the come up and attempt to sabotage you, they get stupid. They get mentally unstable. They start laser focusing on everything that you're doing, and they formulate in their mind how they can stop it. It's unfortunate when somebody comes after your livelihood, after your money, and there have been women who have actually gotten fired from jobs because of a hater. I heard another story, and I don't think this was directly attached to jealousy. This was more a woman who wanted to drain this woman's energy. She just wanted to get something from her, but she really wasn't interested in her. This was a person, I think she might have been on TV at one point, but now she's working for government. She said that she worked in a government position for a little while, and this woman kept coming to her for advice on like fitness, on nutrition. Pretty much she wanted her to be her sideline personal trainer and nutritionist off the clock for free. And it's because this woman was on a talk show where Dr. Oz, she went on the Dr. Oz show. She was like a consultant, and she knew all about health and fitness. So pretty much this woman, she was overweight. She made a point to say that. This woman, she wanted to get information from her about fitness, health, nutrition, and all of that. And the woman was not interested. She wasn't interested in being her personal trainer and nutritionist, especially for free. She made it clear that she comes to work to do her job and then go home. This woman, she didn't like the fact that she told her no, that she wasn't willing to sacrifice her time and her energy and her knowledge to be this woman's free personal trainer, to allow this woman to deplete all of her knowledge from her because it took her years to really learn these things. And the woman never showed any other interest toward her until she realized who she was. So she didn't really feel like doing all of that. And she declined the invitation to be her free personal trainer and nutritionist. Fast forward, this woman said that she started getting emails from this woman and from her superiors complaining about her job performance and how she's not attentive and how she's not doing certain things. Up until that point, they had no problem with her performance as an employee. But because this woman couldn't handle the word no coming from her, she sabotaged her, and ultimately this woman got fired. You see, this lady, and I have to believe, I truly believe that it was a little bit of jealousy because, see, people who want to sabotage you, and when they're not able to get what they want from you, they will start sabotaging. When you don't give them access to different parts of yourself that you treat as sacred, or you just don't feel like sharing that part of yourself with someone, they also get jealous and decide to sabotage. This woman got fired from her government position all because she declined training and helping a woman lose weight. See, haters and just weirdo energy people in general, they have this entitlement spirit that says, if you're doing it or if you know it, you should tell me too. And if not, I'm going to sabotage you. And that is a form of jealousy. You know, if people are okay with you as long as they can pull you apart, as long as they can deplete your energy, as long as they can get as much as what they can from you, the moment you cut off their access to you or cut off their supply, now they're trying to sabotage. And there have been many, many women who have lost their jobs, lost their livelihoods, have, suffered the loss of relationships and friendships, all because some woman, some person got so jealous of the fact that other people were either liking them or that you yourself didn't want to share knowledge or time with them, they began to sabotage. See, this woman, she understood that this young lady, she was knowledgeable of health and fitness. And I can hear someone saying now, well, if she knew about health and fitness, why couldn't she just help her? What's wrong with helping her? No. That is that mammy syndrome, and I have to say it exactly how it was coming to me. That is that mammy syndrome that a lot of women suffer from. They have been so programmed to believe that just because you know something or have something, you're automatically obligated to do something. You absolutely are not. And even if you are a spiritual woman, even if you are a follower of Jesus, even if you are whoever, you are not obligated to always give away things for free. That is the reason why a lot of women stay stressed, stay depressed, stay broke. Yes, I said broke, because they have this false virtuous narrative in their head that says, the more I let people deplete me, the more valuable I am. And there are a lot of women who are waking up to the fact that no, I don't have to do what I don't feel like doing. There's time to help. You don't mind it, but if you don't want to do it, you're not obligated. Show me where it's written that it says I'm obligated to help everybody. It actually says if you do things not wanting to do it in a begrudging way, that is worse than just doing it. But I digress. But see, this woman, because she got jealous of the fact that this woman had the knowledge and she didn't have access to it, she sabotaged her and got her fired. These people sabotage you on purpose because they are jealous of the come up. They're jealous of the come up. They're jealous of the knowledge. They're jealous of the fact that you're a woman that is on her A game, knows certain things, but you tend to be more reserved. When you're a private person, because that first example I gave you of the person who got fired because they made the mistake of telling someone about the fact that they were opening a business and that person ended up getting their hours cut, they were hoping that they put that person in a bind to where they didn't have what they needed to be successful in their business. I don't know all the details of what's happening now, but from what I see on the outside with that person, it seems like they're doing just fine, despite the sabotaging attempts of the jealous person. When people find out what you're doing, especially when they're jealous of the come up, they will try to sabotage you. When they don't get what they want from you, when they have that entitlement and they believe they can just bypass all of the work that you've done and come to you and deplete your energy, and you say no, they try to sabotage and get you out the way. These people are very wicked. They're very, it's weirdo energy. It's like, that's all I can really say. So people, they notice your potential before you do. And I want to backtrack a little bit to this whole entitlement, because people who are jealous and envious of other people, they also try to sabotage you when you don't give them the attention they want from you. You see, when people think they're entitled to have access to you, access to your knowledge, access to your body, access to whatever it is that you have, if you say no to that person, if you're not interested in being friends with them, because that's another thing, you don't have to explain the reason why you don't want to hang out with someone you barely know, especially coworkers. You are not obligated to be friends with your coworkers outside of work. And actually, depending, this is, situational, but in general terms, it's not normally wise to be friends with the people that you clock in with every day. Because the moment they find out something is going on with you that requires more money, they see you pulling up to the office with a nice car, they're going to start saying things. And I have heard this firsthand. Girl, you don't need to be here. Look at your car. You don't even need to be here. You got your own business. You're doing all that. People have said those kind of things to me. And it's because I made the unfortunate mistake of mentioning what I do before to certain people. Nothing happened because of it, but I know what I'm talking about because I have made that same mistake. So now with the growth of the YouTube channel, of course, starting to be out there more, I can't really hide it. It is what it is. But I say that to give you the example that people, that envious, jealous energy, it shows up in the most weirdest ways. And that's why you have to be, go the extra mile to protect your privacy, protect your energy, and make sure you move strategically when it comes to your come up, when it comes to your level up, and the things that you are doing in your life. Because even though you're not afraid of these people, whether they're successful at sabotaging you or not, the way I believe whatever God has for you will succeed. Like, no weapon formed against you will prosper. I believe that wholeheartedly, no matter what somebody does. But that doesn't mean in the moment it's not annoying, or it's not hurtful, or it's not just, it makes you wonder, like, what's wrong with them? It's because they're a hater. It's because when people see the potential of others and get jealous and attempt to sabotage it, they are showing that they themselves are unfulfilled in their own lives. They are showing that they themselves feel like, okay, I don't know what to do with my life, so I'm just going to try to destroy hers. I don't like the fact that I have to be at this job, so who is she to try to leave this job, to do a business, or to have a YouTube channel, or to open up a shop, or to have a hair salon, or to be a consultant? How dare she? Who is she? And women start operating in their minion packs to start trying to sabotage. What do I mean by their minion packs? They try to get information from outside sources, people you might not even know, who will fake take interest in the things that you're doing so they can feed information to the people that you do know. And unfortunately, I haven't dealt with this in my personal life, but I know people who have, where they didn't even know that their so-called customer of the business was the hater's friend, the hater's cousin at the job. Just kind of have them following you on social media. Whole time they're trying to sabotage. It's very weird. And this leads me to my next point about people who try to sabotage you because they get jealous of the come up. The more you level up, the more you come up in life, not just financially, but just spiritually, mentally, however, as a woman, you have to guard your privacy even more. And I don't mean guard your privacy by like, okay, just move in silence. Don't tell people certain things. I mean, and this might sound weird to some people, I mean, you have to ask God for a super extra layering of protection. I mean that you have to get so spiritually grounded and so spiritually connected, not just for that reason, but I believe and I know for a fact that it has helped me and saved me in so many situations. When you make sure that you are spiritually connected to God and you have that grounding and protection from God, that makes you fearless. And it makes you fearless to the point that you're able to get quiet and just do what you need to do. It's like a divine, supernatural kind of protection that says, no matter what they say, what they try to do, it's not going to work. It's like you really have to have that mindset that says, like, I'm like this, like I'm like that. Like, no matter what anyone says, nothing can penetrate me. Nothing can do anything that's going to break me. And it's like, ooh. And it's like, you really have to have that. And I know many people don't speak that way, but it's that serious. When you're coming up against people who try to sabotage you because they're jealous of the come up, they're jealous of your success, they're envious of what you're doing, and they try to sabotage it. They try to get other people on board coming against you. They try to sabotage your livelihood and try to get people to cut your hours, try to get, talk badly about you to other coworkers or management. They try to get people to be sneak customers in your business. The more wicked people become, the more closely connected to God you must be. And that's just the way I see it. This is, it's on topic, but as you know, I take sidebars all the time, and this is necessary. Because there's really nothing you can do. You can have a false, confident bravado, but if you are not mentally and spiritually prepared for the hate that's going to come your way when you start leveling up, they're going to crush you. The haters, jealous, envious, witchcraft workers are going to crush you. So these people try to sabotage you because they got jealous of the level up. You have to be covered on all areas. Mentally, spiritually, physically, be intellectually aware of your, business. Just stay on top of what you're doing. But this envy and jealousy thing, when people get jealous of the come up, don't be surprised. Many women have experienced the fact that, look, some women have dealt with sabotage for less. Some women couldn't handle the fact that they came into the office looking cute. Some women couldn't handle the fact that they came into the office and other people liked them. So they start trying to sabotage. Or the women just left because it became unbearable to deal with. And that's unfortunate. I'm not going to shame anyone if that was your situation. But you have to get so, in my opinion, the way I believe, you have to get so spiritually and mentally grounded that no matter what people say or how they act or that weirdo energy, you can still stand. Because the enemy, the haters, they're depending on you to back down, and you cannot give them a win. These people sabotage you because they got jealous of the come up, and they will never win. They might think they're getting a win in the moment, but at the end of everything, the haters, jealous people, envious people, witchcraft people who attempt to do all kind of weirdo things, they will pay dearly. Trust me. Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video till the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.